Hi, Bonte. Hopefully everybody will find this live. The other one had an error. There's Sam. Go ahead and put your requests in again, Sam. Sorry, guys. The other one had an error. Hopefully this one will be okay. All right. So far, so good. Looks like everybody's finding me. All right. We'll give it a few more minutes. People that were on the other one. Sometimes it just gives you an error and there's nothing you can do but start it again. If you have a request, put the letters in, and then whether it's on the daily or the, lower time frame, you could just put like daily or daily and lower time frame, something like that. Okay. First, we'll dive into Bitcoin here. Not a lot to say since the last live. Pretty much the same, ideas are going on here. All right. So we'll talk about the bull first for those of you that this may be your first time seeing me live. Hopefully there's some new people, right? If I can get this. It's just going to be dark. All right. So bull scenario, the mega bull, okay, is that this was an ending, that this leg to the downside ended the bear market, and that this move to the upside is a new start of a bull market. This would be a nest of a 1-2, 1-2, which would be extremely bullish. Invalidation would be this low. Complete invalidation, we're not making a nest, okay, is this low. But I can tell you that coming underneath approximately, let's make it 24,000, is going to decrease that probability greatly. Because a nest of 1-2s find support on top of each other. That's just how it works. And it makes this sort of diagonally look to them. It would make this rising wedge look. So basically, if we get another one, it would look like that. A lot of times you don't even see this third one because of the blast off. Right? This is the extremely bullish idea. Let's talk a little bit more in depth about that, okay? Because this is the idea that pretty much is on everyone's minds. Is this going to work out? When you get a nest of 1-2s, remember that they are higher and lower degree. So this 5-wave move right here would be of higher degree than this 5-wave move. So naturally, you want this wave to be smaller than this wave. First check, no problem. That is very true about this, that this wave is smaller in time and in price than this wave. Perfect. Also, your wave 2s need to be smaller in time and in price. So with that said, we want this wave here to be smaller in time than this wave because of it's a lower degree, okay? It can come deeper than this leg because it's a correction. But time-wise, it needs to be smaller, or at least the same amount of time. So the way that you check that is you use your trend-based fib time, and you measure the length of this correction against the length of this correction. Okay? We are just shy of being bigger than this one. Okay? Now, if this leg is going to end this correction, meaning that this is all a connector wave, and this leg is getting its partner, whether it holds here or it comes on down and finds support on top of here, that is acceptable with time. Okay? It's not that incredibly over, and it would be acceptable. What wouldn't be acceptable is, say that this leg gives a partner and then it decides to put a connector here. And now this whole leg needs a partner and we go way out here in time. That is not correct. At that point, we will not, or I will not be looking at this as a 1-2-1-2 anymore. Because it will be obvious that this 2 would be so out of proportion to this 2. Okay? If Bitcoin decides to extend this out, I will flip that to the next bullish option, that this is all a wave 1. All of it. And that this coming to the downside is putting in a wave 2. We will not let go of this option until either this low is broken or this correction just gets so long in time that it's going over the 2. Now, once it gets past the 1.618 here, you're really stretching it for a 2. But we'll let it go to the 2. We get past that, we're going to be thinking B wave. Okay? Because wave 2s like to take about the same amount of time to create themselves as the 1 took to create. So the 2 would be of equal time. Once we go past that, it's stretching it, and I'm going to be thinking we have something else here, and more than likely it would be a connecting B wave. Okay? And that's way far away, guys. So that's not really something to worry about at this point. I'm just talking time to you. What's really important right now is that this finishes itself, whether it decides to come down here or not. And then it needs to blast off, if this is going to be a nest. Okay? So those are the 2 bull options, is that we have a nest. And if the nest doesn't work out, then we're going to look at this as a 1 and a pullback for a 2. Now, the bear option is that we're ending this up here with a C wave. Whether it is the flat of ABC or this was ABC. We're ending it on a C wave. Now, remember, the bull scenario is that we think this is the start of something, and we're looking for potentially, if this is all a 1, we're looking for potentially a deeper 2. If we're ending this on a C, and it doesn't matter which one it is, the way Bitcoin can save itself is to put a connector here. So regardless if it's the bear option or it's the bull option that this is a 1 and a 2, we want to see a connector be put here if it's not going to be the nest. Because it can save itself and give either this ABC a partner or this entire flat a partner to the upside, where it puts 3 waves here. And it could get very pumpy and high. Okay. What this would set Bitcoin up for is the higher the B, the more bullish. So if it can even break the all-time high, that would be beautiful. So when this leg gives its partner, it may even make a higher low here. Will this happen? I don't know. Okay. But if it's not going to be the bull scenarios, then we need to see a connector be put here. All right. Otherwise, then this wave to the upside is an X or a B. Well, actually, let's see where this hit. I don't remember. Okay, it's an X wave. So this would be an X wave. And then this leg here would be getting a 3-way partner to the downside. And the bear scenario is that this is done. That's it. It's done. And it's coming down. And more than likely, this 9,600 gap will get filled. Okay. How low that would eventually go? Well, if it's done right here, then we're talking the 1-to-1 is sitting at 7,000. It could go as low, guys, as 39.87 if it wanted to. And it would still be WXY. Okay. That's the deepest that a WXY should go. Not to scare you, it's just that's how deep it could go. And if we're over here, the best hope is that it would truncate. And it would put in a truncated Y, but I can tell you right now that's probably not going to happen. Okay. Probably something like this. Back test this and then down to the 1-to-1. That's 7,000. We talked about, let me make sure the stream's okay. Wonderful. Let's see. The second one too is actually bigger in size if I'm on linear scale. Let's measure it. Yep, it's bigger. Okay. What does that tell us? Tells us that probability-wise, it's probably not a 1-2-1-2. Okay. So it's soon, very soon. Okay, we've got problem number 1, that this one is bigger. I didn't actually measure it. I just eyeballed it. Good call. Okay. And we need to end this, or this wave is going to be bigger. And then the probability is going to shift that that's not the case, that this is a 1-2-1-2. Okay. Good call, Ahmet. Let's see. If it is a simple ABC, look at the middle part of the structure. Are you talking about this part? I'm not sure. what part you're talking about. This is not a wave 4, if that's what you're asking. This bounce. Okay. I'll go back and look in just a second. All right. What else did I want to say about this on the higher time frame here? So we went over the bulls, we went over the bear. So it's all going to boil down to now, what is this doing? Okay. So right now, I can tell you the pattern traders right now are more than likely calling head and shoulders. Okay. So they're looking for this neckline right here, or I think they do it like this, something like that. Basically this line in the sand right here to break. And then they take their little thing and they measure something like this, okay, and they drag it over. So that takes us right into here. So all of the pattern type traders are expecting this to fail, okay? So what are their, there's going to be less buyers thinking it's going to hold because they're looking at head and shoulders, okay? Let's talk about this leg a little bit here. So there's two ways that we're going to look at this leg. The first way is that, just as I have it drawn here, this middle part is a connecting wave where this was a connector in the middle between this leg and this leg, creating a larger connector between this leg and this leg. Okay. So you would pull your extension like this. And it's riding the 618. Okay. This wave can easily bring it down to the top of here. Okay. Because we have 3, 3, and this could be the start of 5 where we get a bounce. And then it gives us a third, a fourth, and a fifth, and we end up with a flat here. Or we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to hold the 1 to, it's going to hold the 1-to-1 here. And that's going to be the end of it. How will we know? We need to see V-shaped recovery and reclaim this fourth wave territory. Then go right through the insufficiency, reclaim this territory, and then push to the upside. Then you have a 5-wave move right here. That's what we need to see. We need to see these wicks areas right here hold and V-shaped recovery off the 1-to-1. If this is all we're going to get right here. Okay. If it back tests this, cannot get through this area, then it's going to roll over, something like that. Okay. That's idea number 1. Idea number 2, and I don't know which one's going to play, is that we're going to have a sandwiching effect up here. This is taught in the course, but I'll walk you through it just a little bit. What it means is that it's got more consolidation to do up here. And that the connector actually was like this. This leg here is giving its partner right now. And that this leg still needs a partner, creating this bigger connector like this. And then this leg gets its partner. This is what's called sandwiching. Basically, it's consolidation, and inside it's making lower degree waves building into the higher degree waves that eventually come. Okay. So Which one's going to play? Well, we don't know, but this leg could come. And if it cannot break this high, that is your clue that we're doing the sandwiching effect. Then this leg will come over here. Okay. So first we need V-shaped recovery. Hopefully blast out of here. If not, and it cannot get through here, then it's more than likely doing the sandwiching, and then we'll get something like this. Okay. This could even hold here again, guys. Doesn't have to come deep like that. All right. Let me pop out this chat here. There we go. Amit, why do I have it in long scale right now? It's just for consistency. I agree with you, okay? If we look at Bitcoin, on linear, you have to go up to a very high time frame. It doesn't change it very much when you do this on a low time frame. But when you go up to the weekly, that's when it makes the difference. All right? And let's see. So I went over this in prior lives, but I'll go over it quickly again, okay? Notice we have this overlap here, okay? There's only two things that can overlap in Elliott Wave, all right? 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. When you get a wave to the upside, okay, your 1s and 2s right in here. So this is your third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get a fourth wave that overlaps and finds support on your prior 4, and then it pushes up for a fifth. This is one area that overlaps, and this is another in the 1s and 2s. All this stuff in between is not allowed to overlap. So with that said, we have an overlap. I'm building up to what you're asking about the log and linear. We have this overlap here. So that tells us that this either has to be 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? Or it has to be 3s and 4s. Or this is a done deal. Well, let me finish this, okay? So looking at it on linear, all right, it's obvious that this is the biggest wave right here. There's no way we're going to be able to say 1, 2, 1, 2. This is way too huge to be a lower degree than this one. Also, right in here, you can see where these overlapped beautifully for 3s and 4s. I'm leaning that this is a done deal of a 1 up here, primary degree, and that this is coming down for 2. And you're talking about 1, 2 set up from the top to the downside. You're talking about like this, 1, 2? Oh, are you thinking 1, 2, 1, 2? Let me know. Let me know if that's what you're thinking. So what I'm saying is, because this wave is our hugest wave, all right, from 4,000 to 60,000 here, this is 100% a third wave. I really am leaning 1, 2, and 1 and 2 in here. All right, that we got 3, 4, 5. Top of our third that goes with this one. Our fourth came right into the prior, and a fifth. Okay. That is how I'm leaning because of the overlap. All right. Am I correct? Well, guys, I could be wrong. All right. But it doesn't mean that we're going to the crypto abyss down to here. All right. Doesn't even mean that we have to come through this area. We could be very much due for a flat here. We haven't had one yet. Something like that. Sideways movement. But looking at this 100 times, the only other thing that, and I'm not leaning that way either, because if this is a 3 and this is a 4, because it overlapped here, this 4 would not have broken these prior 4s. They just don't do it. So I'm kind of leaning that, it could be that it's done. But guys, if it is, that's kind of good, because it means that we're going to be on our way to making this gigantic we're talking, how many years was this? 1930. And if this is, it may not even still be done to 2021. That is the third wave we're going to be looking at. Okay. So I'd rather it be done. If you take it in the daily, okay, and first drop to 42K. Okay. Then the retracement. And so you think like that. Well, I mean, if you're thinking, let me make sure I got it right. Drop from 52, 32. Yeah, okay. I think I got what you're saying. Well, first of all, just as I said before, if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, this is bigger in time, maybe in price, than this one. This is higher. This is supposed to be higher degree. And you need 2 3s and 4s. So I guess you'd have to do 1, 2. I'm in linear. I guess 3, 4, 5. And that would go with the circled ones. And then I guess you'd have to say the 5 to here. But then you still need, oops, I did that wrong. These shouldn't have circles. There we go. And then you still need a 3, and it's not, I don't see it. I think it's complex. But that's my bias. I think it's complex. I think that this first move is a zigzag here. 3-wave move, zigzags. I think they're all zigzags. But if that's the case, okay, say that I'm completely wrong. All right, and it is a 1-2-1-2. First of all, this 4 has been drug out way too long. It shouldn't have went past these time extensions right here. But say I'm wrong, that's very bad. That means that this leg is starting off with a 5-wave move, and this better get higher, because that means what starts with 5 ends with 5, and we're getting another leg of, it could get really bad ugly if that's the case. But I am leaning it's complex. I've looked at it so many times trying to break it down different ways, and this is what throws it off big time right here. The size of that compared to this one. It's an ugly count. It's a difficult one, for sure. And it can be argued many different ways. All right, back to what I was saying about this correction here. I got sidetracked. Sorry, my computer's being slow. So if Bitcoin can hold this line in the sand and not break it, that's very bullish. Okay. And when this rolls over, we need to reclaim this area up here. Okay. That would be bullish. If we come through, back test it, well, the next area we're looking for is here to hold. Okay. It's pretty simple. All right. Let me go all the way back to the beginning here. And let's see. Let's look at this one first. This is the same idea I've had forever here. So last live, we were hoping that this was going to be the start of something, which obviously it has invalidated that because it's broke the bottom of it. And I said, if that's the case, then this is a connector connecting this leg to this leg. Okay, so the next area we're looking for is right here to hold. We don't want Gala to come up underneath there. Okay, I talked about why we don't want these alts to break their supports. Because if this comes deeper, we're definitely going to be thinking B wave and not a 2. We're already thinking B wave. This should have been the 2 right here. This is too big in time now. More than likely it's a B. But the deeper it comes, the more it risks when it gives this leg its partner that it can't get past here. That it gives us a 1-to-1 extension or 618 or 1-to-1, and that's the end of it. And that's what we get. But that's still going to be a pretty good move. Don't get me wrong. It's going to look just like this one over here. It's just, if it can hold this area right here, then we could get something like this. Okay. That's what we want. More than likely it's ABC, but It could be a 2, as long as it doesn't break this low. There wouldn't be any reason these are not the start of something. I cannot say that back here that this is A, B, and that this was a C wave. The B wave comes too deep, and it just doesn't look right. But say that they do end up breaking these lows, we are going to have to say, well, this was a C. Is what it is. I mean, I don't think it is going to break. I would say the probability is very high that we're getting that leg. We just, if it comes deeper, it runs the risk of not being able to get through here. Okay. All right. So with this one, we have to start it from here. And well, it looks zigzaggy to me. So if it is ABC, I still think that there's a good probability that it's in a 4th wave. It cannot break this consolidation right here and then push up for a 5th wave. Or this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's got an overextended 5th. It would be the same exact thing. We would look for this consolidation to hold, and it would be in a 4th wave of the 5th. This one looks totally different than any of the alts right now. But you can clearly see 1, 2, this should be 3, 4, 5. So it could be ABC. Now, how does it climb higher if it, say it puts in this 5th wave? How does it climb higher if it's corrective? Well, it just puts a connector. So if Bitcoin decides it's putting a connector here, then this one does the same. And then it can give all this leg a partner to the upside. So, yeah, it's got to hold here if it's going to kick up again. If it breaks it, then it still needs to put a connector here if it plans to climb higher. So it needs to not come underneath this area right here if it plans to put a connector. Okay. If you're not already invested in this, and this is just my advice, I would find something better. There's much better ones out there than this one. All right. Harmony. All right. So this is the leg we want to see a partner for. This is, that example that if this ends up being bearish in a C wave, we'd have to say that this bounce was an A and that this was a B. And that looks so much like 5 waves to me. I'll be shocked. Okay. So we're looking for this area right here to hold. Okay, this leg is getting a partner leg. We want this to hold, and then we want this wave to give us 5 to the upside. If it comes deeper, same thing as that other one. There's nothing but insufficiency down here. We got one little area of support right there. So that's why it's so important that here very soon, if this fans out for a fourth, rolls over for a fifth, that they all make this V-shaped recovery and reclaim this area. Then notice this right here. That's all insufficient. Rip through there, get up to the next order block, make a fourth wave, push up for a fifth, then pull back and flip all of this to support. And then give us a big third, fourth, fifth to the upside, because this would be 1 and 2 right here. Okay, that's what we need to see. It starts coming, say, deeper. Then we run the risk that we can't even get back through here. And it gives us some ugly truncation. Something like that. This bearish wave. And that would be bearish. Because we would have lower high right here. And then down it would go. We want this to come out of here. We want to reclaim all this area. We want to get up here. All right. Looks like I did this one. All right. Whenever. So if this is going to be a 4, it cannot break this area right here. Okay. Right where this 0.5 is at. That's the deepest a 4 should go. If it does break it, then I will think that this here was the 3rd. This was the 4th. Right here. And then that was the 5th, and it's coming down for a 2. Now again, if it loses this area right here, notice this insufficient. It's just going to come on down to here. Okay. But again, this is the one we want to get a partner for, whether it's a 2 or it's a B. What I don't know is if it's going to hold and it's really in a 5th wave. The way it looks, it looks like it's in a 4th because it had no, well, yeah, it did right there a little bit. Yeah, it did. Okay. So I don't know. But either way, whether this is going to be a 2 or it's going to be a 4, it's got to hold here. If it's going to kick up from here, okay? Look here first for it to hold, and then you're looking for the same thing on the lower time frame, okay? It has to reclaim this area is the ultimate reclaim. But whatever correction is the last one and it rolls over, you want V-shaped recovery back up. Okay? All right, so ETH has the same options as Bitcoin with the 1212. If we lose this area, then we're going to flip this. All of this is a 5-wave move, and we're coming down for a 2. Okay. So if we're thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, the most bullish scenario, then it needs to hold the top of here. So what is that telling us? The 1 to 1. Okay, no going underneath the 1 to 1. We don't want to get underneath there and flip that to resistance. We want to stay on top. Again, it's running into the same problems that about the 1, 2, 1, 2. This one looks bigger though, but it could be just my eyeballs. Yeah, this one's bigger, okay? And time, we're coming into the 1 right now. This needs to be the last leg if it's going to be a 2. Okay, we need to get out of here bullishly. Blast off, okay? Otherwise, we're going to lose that 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're looking for a bigger correction. Okay? So basically, say it holds the 618, but then it puts this wimpy little wave right here, and it can't take these highs. That would be bearish, because it means it's either making a bigger connector here, and this leg's not had its partner yet, or it's giving this leg, I just said that, sorry. Yeah, no, it's coming deeper. Okay, something like this. All right. We don't want a connector there or underneath. We don't want a connector. We want to be out of here. But it doesn't mean that, you know, like I said, that it's going completely bearish. We can put a connecting wave here. Just like Bitcoin. Put a connecting wave. Connect this to it, to the upside. People won't even know the difference. They'll think we're back on a bull run. And it'll be major FOMO. ZIL. This is the leg. Okay. This is the pullback we're in right now. We do not want to take this out. We want to stay on top. So the 1 to 1 is next. Needs to hold. V-shaped recovery. Out of here. We want to give this leg a partner. So this is what we're looking for right here. To hold. Same thing, guys. We get up underneath there. We run the risk that we just never get past here. And that would be bearish. It would just be a bigger connector like this was. That's it. But on a bigger scale. It would break the lows, and I probably don't have all the data here, but it would be giving this a partner. Very bearish. We don't want that to happen. These need to get higher. Something like that. Or just go on a bull run. Okay. All right. So this one looks good. This is the leg we want the partner for. right now. 3, 3. It's hard to tell what it's giving, whether it's giving a 3 or it'll end up being a 5-wave move. We don't want to come up underneath here. And then we want this one to give us a partner. The bear is that it's just this. But the way that it's come off the top with 3 suggests that regardless of whether it came back here or not, it's putting in a connector. So this should, or this, get its partner. We just don't want to come deep. Okay, because same with the others. Okay, this ends up coming deep. Then when this leg gets its partner, what does it do? It just can't get through here. So we need to hold this. All right. MVIS stop. I guess it's this one. All right. I hope I have the right one for you. All right. So basically, this, I don't know what the heck that is. That, I mean, we haven't broke the low of it yet. Right? You wouldn't want it to break the low of whatever that is. Good news is this is all complex coming down here. Okay? 3, 3, 3. And then we need 3, 3. Could not be quite done. 3. So you're looking for the 1.3. It bounced off the 1.382 with this bounce. Let's take a look at that. All right. So right now, invalidation, it's right there. This could be done with downside. Cannot break this low now. That's a big bullish candle. So basically, I would look for this to retrace back, potentially to the golden zone, but it doesn't have to. really, see this right here? I would be looking for these extensions right there. And see if you can get follow through. This is very bullish bounce right here. And then this is the area to get up and over, potentially on the higher time frame. But it's got to conquer each one of these. But it doesn't have a lot. You can see it's pretty insufficient right here. This is the most traded area right there. So I hope that helps. That's a pretty decent bounce off the bottom. Bitrec. All right, so this to me looks like 3. And now this leg here is giving a partner. And to me, it looks complex. Okay. I don't think that. So this is the leg. This looks 3 to me on this coin. I would be pulling my extensions like this. This looks like XRP. So we're looking for the 1-to-1 here. Is the next area of interest. And this I would be calling a wave 1. Even though this has taken so long here, I would still be calling that a wave 1 and coming down for a 2. Yep, I would look for the 1-to-1 next. It's definitely, this is all correction land here. But it does have this 5-wave move over here. Okay. This looks pretty dumpy at the moment. I would watch 2 areas, actually. This and this. What do you need to see? This. A reclaim of this area. Okay? That's what needs to happen to be bullish. Ahmet, if you're still here, like I said, I mean, I guess it's possible. Okay, I see how you could be looking at it as 1 2 1 2. Okay, then let's see, 3 4 5, and then 1 2 3 4, because it didn't come into here. 5. But that's going to be bad. It'll be real bad because it'll mean that this is the starting leg of something. Okay. It's possible. It's possible. For sure. Okay, let me see. Where am I here? T drop. I guess that's it, huh? Let me try that again. Well, if I have the right one, it's all downside, obviously, right? So basically, it's got to reclaim this. This to me, yeah, it's just all choppy, all these wicks into the air here. Okay. It's just all choppy, trying to momentum wise turn the downtrend. It has no reversal divergence. So, well, let's see. It's got a little on the well, sort of. Let's see. Maybe tiny, tiny on the 4-hour. So basically with this, if I have the right one, I'm not sure that I do, but before I would jump in on this one, because of how it wicks into the air here, I would want to see it really come off this bottom in a 5-wave move and reclaim this area here to support before I would go long on this. It could easily, too, bonk its head with one of them spikes and down it goes. Very corrective. It has to reclaim this before it's even going to attempt to be bullish. Mabu, I hope I pronounced that right. Yes, it will not be invalid, the 1212, until this area here is broken. Okay. That is the complete invalidation. But I can tell you from experience, coming underneath the top of the first 1-2, probability wise, it's going to shift that it's not. And the longer that this takes. Okay. But complete invalidation is here. Okay. So say that this was to just dive down like this. Then we got V-shaped recovery, back up. I would still say this could be a 2, okay? Hope that answers your question. How do I determine the end of complete degree? So if we're talking Bitcoin, basically when I can count 5 waves. So, and I need to be able to count the 5 waves in the third. So we'll just use this right here. Say that this is all we have, okay? So when you count, say this is the Bitcoin chart and this is all we have is this area right here. I always look for the third first. I always count the third first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to be able to have 5 waves in our third that we can clearly see. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to see a high peak in RSI and divergence. Okay. If that's, and that's how I determine that we would have a 1 in looking for a wave 2. Even up on the monthly. So the monthly, where the third comes in, you'll have a high peak. Okay. And divergence between the third and the fifth. Some of these I've already done, like FTM. Yes, Bitcoin has been following the stock market, that is for sure. And maybe it's going for a 5th. I don't know if you mean a 5th now, or you mean for the big count. If you're still here, let me know. So NASDAQ. Let's take a look at it. I think it's you. So it looks a lot like the SPX. They're almost identical. So looking at this right now, the only bullish thing I see at the moment, because of this area right here, is maybe it's a diagonal. There's no way to make it an impulse wave because you have all this overlap. Okay. And then if we were trying to say 1, 2, 1, 2, that doesn't work either because this one's smaller than this one. So the only thing we have is the diagonal. So invalidation's here. Now, if it breaks out the top, so say that it goes out the top a little bit, it's going to invalidate it. And then we have WXY. Okay. So it needs to come on down, create a correction here, back into this zone right here. That's where diagonals like to come back to. And then it's either an A or a 1 if it can do it. But if we get a break of this trend line, it's going to invalidate it, and then it's WXY. And it's just retracing this move here. And then this move's going to get a partner. Now, say that Bitcoin is going to extend higher, okay? Whether, let's say it's going to put that connector here, okay? Then, where the heck did it go? There it is. So if this is an A, then it can come down for a B, and then it could give a C, okay? But it can't come out the top of the trend line. If it does come out the top of the trend line, something like that, then it could put a connector here too and give WXY a partner of 3. Okay. But I can't make anything bullish out of it other than a diagonal, unfortunately. Unless you have something different. Let's see. The only way this is going to make a 3rd, 4th, 5th is if this pulls back and does 3rd, 4th, 5th like that. How are you making an impulse wave out of this? You can post a chart here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to admit that. Are you doing 1, 2, 1, 2? 1, 2? Nest? Oh, you can't share it. We are in a 2 of the 5th of a C. Well, let's see. I guess you could put a diagonal like this. You can't call this a 1 other than making a diagonal because of this overlap right here. So it would have to be a diagonal, pull back for 2. You'd have to accept that this is bigger, pull back for a 2, and then it'd have to be a nest. Be mega bull. And remember what I don't know if I said it here, but I think I did. Nest will fool you and make you think that they're diagonals. Okay. And then you're expecting this retrace to say the golden zone, because diagonals like to come back to their potential wave 2s or right on the top of this one, and it doesn't happen. So if it's going to be a nest, it will not come underneath this now. The third goes to 13,200. I don't know. You would have to end this here, because you got overlap right here. And this would have to be a 1 and a 2 of the third, because you got overlap here. So I wish you could share this chart. I'd like to see what you have for sure. Alrighty, guys. Do I think bear's more probable? Let me say this, okay? Remember what I always talk about transitions, okay? If this daily time frame is going to transition, all right, we don't want to break 40. All right, that has to happen. And then this needs to be really bullish, and then this push up over this 70, like go right through this red zone. All right, we need to go. If it's going to be the 1 2 1 2. Okay. A nest, I'll explain it in a second. I think the bear is more probable, yes. Okay. And let me explain why. Because if I'm going to stick with this being a done deal, okay, and that the one is, complete up here, and we're coming down for a wave 2, we haven't done enough time. We definitely have not done enough time, because I'm trying to get there. We're looking at, if this is done and we need to retrace all of this move, minimum time is sitting at November 20th to September. Okay. This needs to be a middle connector, but the higher the better. If we can put in a big B wave here, then when this leg gets its partner, we have a very good chance of making a flat. A sideways flat like this. Like this. Okay. Yes, I have a Discord. You just go to the website, Dragonfly Trading System. Okay. So if I'm going to stick that this is done, then I think the bear's more probable. But Bitcoin does have a chance to put in a big B here. It has the chance. If everybody can remain bullish and we can push that up there. It could even break the all-time high as an expanded B. Okay. Also, if we're going to put in a connector here, we don't want to break this connector. So if we're giving this a partner, or we're giving this a partner, if this is going to put in an X wave, we don't break that. We can't break this totally. It can come down into it, but we don't want to break underneath that. Okay. A nest. All right, I'll explain the nest. All right, what is a nest? A nest is a nest of ones and twos. When you get an impulse wave, your third wave has 5 waves inside of it of lower degree. That's why this 1 and 2 should be smaller in time and price than this one, because this is higher degree. Inside this third wave here, you have another 5 waves that should be smaller in time and price than this 5 waves, okay? The nest is right here. And a lot of times you mistaken it for a diagonal because you have overlap. This 1 and 2 finds support on top of this 1 and 2. This 1 and 2 finds support on top of this 1 and 2. And this is the nest. And then right up in here, okay, right here, you have big separation. See this? That is right in here. Then your 4s find support on the prior 4s. Because if they don't, they're going to fall through. Because it's insufficient right here. There's nothing there but power through. Okay? So these overlap on each other and find support on each other. And then you get the 5th to the upside. Right here. Okay? Pretty simple. These always get mistaken as diagonals when they happen a lot of times, especially on the lower time frame, when they're first happening off of a low. They get mistaken for corrective waves because they're overlapping each other. But the clue is this humpity hump pattern that looks like a rising wedge. Okay? Then you get this little pullback and then you get a blast off. And everybody's like, what? What just happened? Well, that's what happened. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for sticking it out with me. And if you want to check out the Discord, send me an email with your Discord name and you can get a free trial. And anyone that emails me gets a big discount on the course. Okay? All right. I hope to see some of you in the Discord. Thank you. And I will see you next time.